start right off with a comment. This is from user somebody. Yeah, be nice if you had kind of a name. Okay, he says yesterday was about the U.S. Supreme Court decision that's coming down the pike about whether it is cruel and unusual punishment to punish somebody who doesn't have a place to stay, to sleep other than in a house. If you're unhoused and you're caught sleeping at a park or anywhere else, or sleeping in a vehicle, if that is punishable, and whether it's a cruel and unusual punishment. Okay, so we'll find out about that. But that was yesterday's episode, and if you didn't see it, go see it. It's really good. It really is. And user somebody, blah, 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 said, Bob Wells is one step ahead, okay, by recommending buying a piece of land for a home base. Okay. I've talked about this, and I've talked to other nomads about this. Yeah, it might be, you might think it's one step ahead, but it's not as easy as you think it is. It sounds so simple. Just go buy some land and go out there and be out there. Well, for one thing, you really have to do research on it. Another thing, too, is you got to have some money put aside because you can't always just get into the land. It's undeveloped land to get into the land properly. So you got to have possibly a bulldozer to make a road. You got to put a container or something out there that you can put things in. You got to make like a car cover. You got to put that up. And I'll tell you, a lot of nomads are senior citizens, okay? And a lot of them are just struggling financially, which is one of the reasons a lot of them, they were forced into their vehicles to live, okay? And you got the property taxes on it, and you've got zoning, you got to worry about that. And I'm not saying it's impossible. It's possible. I thought of it myself. But I don't know. I think that I backed away from that idea because there's so many other things involved. So I'm just letting you know, user blah, 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 blah. Well, that's her name. I don't know. That it's not always that easy. So yeah, Bob Wells has always been one step ahead. But in this respect, I mean, it takes a little bit more planning. And it certainly isn't for everybody, okay? So I wanted to talk to you today. I want to tell you how I woke up this morning. I was freezing all night long. And when I pulled off my windshield shade, I found out why. It was totally covered in snow. I was encased in snow all night long, sleeping here. So, Did it shock me? It was surprising. Did it bother me? Nah. I thought it was pretty cool. I felt like a little kid, I grew up in Ohio, and so there was lots of snow all over the place in the winter. And I haven't seen snow for a couple years. So I was pretty happy with it. It's no big deal to me. So I did get out, and I turned on the windshield, and I thought, oh no, what if I have to scrape it? I'm thinking, do I even have a scraper? I had thus realized, yes, I do have a scraper, but it's in my garage area in the back here, and it's kind of buried down where my tools are. So yeah, but the windshield wipers took care of it. Yay. And I got out and I wanted to look around. I took a couple pictures, couple videos, and I did have to get out and get the snow off the sides, my side windows, and my mirrors so that I could drive safely. Roads were clear. Now, I did see some photos of Williams, which is 30 minutes away. And as far as I thought, Williams is just a little bit less in elevation. So they got pounded by snow. So I'm not really sure why. But yeah, I looked at the mountains. I looked at all the hills, everything just covered. They were all white. So I was pretty excited about it. Yeah, I really was. And I don't mind it. Did I come up to Flagstaff too early? Probably, but the reason I came to Flagstaff earlier than usual is because the heat in Tucson came earlier than usual. Well, to remedy, it's really cold outside. Oh my gosh. And I didn't bring that many winter clothes with me, only a few things. So probably for a while you're going to see me in the same outfit. Oh my gosh. I did go to Walmart and kind of look around to see was there any clearance sales on like winter clothes. But yeah, I could actually drive. It's 4 hours to Tucson, 2 hours to Phoenix if I want to go there. But you know what? I'm just going to stay here and enjoy the cold. And it's not too long and we'll get back up just a little bit. If it was 40, 42 at night, that would be perfect. Get up to about 60, 65, 70, that would be perfect for a while. Now, I have mentioned to you many times that in Flagstaff, it isn't until about mid-July, the end, and August that it really gets hot here. But it's a-coming. I'm going to enjoy this while I can, okay? I think that's a smart move. Yeah. We have from an eclectic mind. I'm having such a hard time giving up my books, okay? Was actual thinking of a way to use them as insulation somehow. I don't care about clothes as long as I am comfortable. I eat simple, but love to cook for others, so I am learning more about outdoor cooking. I like doing crafts, so I'm going to limit myself to one box of just fun times for rainy days. It is my books that is breaking my heart. Yeah. Any suggestions? I do read them over and over and go to reference them constantly. Okay. I thought about this for you, okay? And here is my suggestion. Well, it's really, I'm going to suggest, in such a way that it might work for you and might not. But if you don't want to get rid of your books, put them in storage. What can storage cost? Seriously. I don't know where you're going to go. I don't know if you're going to venture far from where you are right now or when you have your home. But if that was the case, you could easily get a storage and put them in there. And then you could go pick out the ones that you want to have as reference. I've heard of nomads carrying a lot of books because they love books. They love books. Me, I have clothes. Not a lot of clothes. I have a lot of clothes, winter clothes back there, but it's easy to carry summer clothes because they're so small. But I had this big bin down here that I could still put things in, and I might just end up putting books in there. Or you can devise something. What about a netting that you can put here, and there's a netting that hangs there, and you could put books up there. Or put other things up there, like you could put your clothes up there, and then you'd have drawers for your books. These are things that you can do. Now, if let's say, you're going to be traveling, let's say you're going to go, to, like a lot of people do, they go to Arizona in the winter, and then they go back in the summer to where they are. Just have some bins or some crates that carry your books easy, and have a storage for 6 months here. Then when you move, get a storage 6 months someplace else. So there's my suggestion. Next, we have, I don't know how to pronounce this. I think there's just it's a combination of names. You just shortened it. So after working all my life and getting a lousy retirement, I'm currently living in a HUD apartment in Anacortes, Washington. I wanted to say this because I wanted to share this with you like she shared with me, because I'm hearing this over and over and over. So many people say, oh, well, you could just get yourself an apartment. Well, let me describe this one. They forgot to tell us you sell your soul to the devil when living in housing. And I worked hard. I have someone breaking in on a regular basis. moved my treasures to a storage facility, and living as if I were a bed and breakfast with only furniture and a handful of clothes. I am so ready to make the jump. So many common over the border and horror stories. I do not want to run into those folks. Military men age only, no women. Help me to be brave about that. Okay, I hear what she's saying. Well, she's in a HUD home that pays for a lot of her rent. She's retired. She's worked hard. I'm hearing this over and over and over again, that there are predators out there when they know that they're seniors. They're predators just waiting around the corner, around the properties. Also, there are the managers of these places. They come in all the time. And they come in almost once a week and do an inspection. I've even heard one had a white glove and they'd come along and make sure that you're cleaning it well. Now, in a way, I'm wondering if this isn't because there's so many people on a waiting list that there are just so many options, that if you are one of the renters and you're in there, that there's so many waiting that if you're not up to par, they can get rid of you pretty quickly. So I'm sure that's what's happening. And when she mentions the military-aged men, yeah, I understand that a lot of people coming across the border, unvetted people, just walking across the border, they seem to be, the pictures they show, not all, but a lot of them are military-aged men. There's very few pictures of women coming across. So, yeah, it's a little unnerving, especially for us seniors. It's unnerving. So, thank you for sharing that. Thank you. Oh, here's one. I thought this was so cute. This is from Gabe, 2045. This was on my, this is in reply to my video about, it was part 2 of how I came to live in my minivan. It was about traveling. And there were a couple of scary moments. And you said, hard to imagine Lee scared. I love this. I thought that was so cute. Lee will always be Superwoman in my eyes. Ta-ta-ta. I'm Superwoman. Yeah. I wish, I'm not afraid of too much right now. And I really wasn't before, but I was out of my comfort zone when I was traveling across. Yeah. I will do, just because, I will do a follow-up. Dallas was my, leaving Dallas area, because I got lost twice near Dallas. What I did was, my next stop was Nashville. So I went through a lot of those states, I believe, Arkansas, yeah, and then, well, I forget each one, but got to Tennessee, and I slept in at Nashville. But getting through to Nashville, oh my goodness, we're dealing yeah, up these mountains. To me, it was like a carnival ride. Yeah, it was wonderful. I really enjoyed it. It was a thrill. It was thrilling to drive to Nashville. Yeah, I loved it. Beautiful, beautiful forest on either side, and it was really big dips and then going up and up and around. And they were perfectly spaced that you had time to just go as fast as you could without it braking. And there weren't that many cars, so it wasn't like it was a big pile up, like, I remember having to go down, going to Salt Lake City. Okay, I remember that one where you have to go down. Well, this was like it was just up, down. You just don't put your foot on the brake at all. You just let it go, and then it gets you back up to the next hill, then down, and then get you back. That's the way it was. So that was thrilling. I really enjoyed that. But when I got to Nashville, I went to a Planet Fitness. And it was just this little parking lot, but I remember I was trying to find a space, like a lot of the parking was like this, right? But I looked around. I was so happy to be there. I really was. And I remember going into Planet Fitness. It was at night, because I think I drove all day long. That was when I loved driving, and oh my gosh, yeah. Don't do that anymore. 2-3 hours is enough for me at a time, or maybe 4. But I went in there. I was just motor mouthing. Oh, I love this. Oh, I just, yeah. I was so happy to talk to somebody. I think a lot of the stress from getting lost in Dallas. Now, some of you, because I got lost, and I what happened was my finger must have hit Google Maps without me realizing it, and it was leading me there, which I didn't even know. I was just looking at it and go, oh, okay, I turn this way, turn this way. But what it led to was out in the middle of nowhere with fog on the road, like at the end of the road, just kind of moving along. It was spooky, spooky, spooky. Spooky, yes. But it was a grove, and it was out in the middle of nowhere. It was like a farm grove, like maybe it was some historical place or something like that. It didn't look like there were anybody around, but maybe it was historical. Because one of you said Pleasant Grove, and so I looked that up on the map, and that's actually like a town. This was it was like an old building, like a old, not a farmhouse, but what would you call it? Like, I don't know, like some orchard thing or something. It almost reminded me like it was an old orchard grove, or I don't know. I don't think it was in use anymore, but it was there. It was some kind of a historical thing. That's the only thing I can guess. Because I remember stopping, it says, you're here. And I remember looking and going, what? What? What is this? And then I looked on the map, and I thought, the only thing I can figure is, yeah, my finger hit it and took me there. So, yeah, but probably the stress of getting lost outside of Dallas, and then in the morning getting lost out in the middle of nowhere. You know, I could just see somebody like walking down the street, like walking down the road. And because it was a 2-laner, but it was so narrow that it's probably made just for horses at one time. But anyways, so the stress of that, probably when I got to Nashville and I walked into the Planet Fitness, the clerk, I was just yapping away. I was so happy to be there. Yes, I'm so happy to be here. Went in, worked out a little bit, and then got my shower, and then went out and fell asleep. Woke up in the morning, and right across the street was Nashville. Now, this wasn't, I must have been on the outskirts because the roads seemed to be small, and it was sort of up and down, and I went across the street to get gas, and I went into the grocery store, some obscure grocery store, picked up a few things, got back on the road. Yeah. My next stop was that I slept was in Kentucky. And that one was a little bit scary. You know, like I had some reservations. I really did. But I was so tired. I really was so tired. I had to stop at the rest stop, and I couldn't go any further. So I actually slept there. I was a little nervous about it. You know, like you follow instincts. I was too tired. There's nothing I could do. I made it through. So. And then, of course, in the morning, I took off and made it to Cincinnati. And when I saw the skyline, did you ever hear of skyline chili? Well, I'm telling you what, the skyline in Cincinnati is awesome. It's one of the best skylines I've seen, other than maybe Dallas. Dallas was pretty cool. Then I made peace with Dallas when I left Ohio, and I went through Dallas. Yeah, I made peace with it. Let me tell you about that just briefly. I could sense, like, it was exciting. Like, I could sense way back from actual Dallas that something exciting was about to happen. you started collecting traffic. You're going on I-10, or I think it's I-10. You're going on the highway, and cars are, normal. And all of a sudden, you realize that cars are starting to get closer and closer together. And so I knew it's like, ooh, something's happening. So I'm getting closer. When I saw Dallas, when I started getting closer, I could see, the bridge. Oh my gosh, that was awesome. It was a flashbulb moment. I remember I was super excited. I get excited over cities. I know some of you don't, but I do. For some reason, I love the energy of a city. And it was pretty nice. So, I would say the most excitement that I've had going into a city and seeing a skyline really was Dallas. And that bridge going across, oh my gosh. I was just smiling, and I was smiling the whole way. So that was pretty cool. One more thing, I'm just kind of chit-chatting right now. One more thing, I'm running out of time here. I do appreciate all of you guys. Some of you are, you watch every episode that I put out on my Minivan Lee show. I really appreciate it. But so an update. I really felt your prayers this whole time. I'm not coughing. There is no need to cough. And I heard that the cough can sometimes last a really long time. And I think that's from your prayers, because normally I would be like, just that lingering thing. None. My appetite is back. If there's any little bit of breathing issues that I have, I do believe it really is from the elevation. I just have to get used to it again. And I'm working through it. I'm not rushing. Why do I want to be out of breath? Well, I'm not going to rush. And I remember last year there was, I couldn't rush. There was no rushing. I can rush in Tucson, but I think because of the elevation. And I don't want to rush. I want to take my time. I want to have fun. I want to look at things. I want to observe. And I just want to be, right? So I just want to let you know that I am so much better. Oh my gosh, yeah. I really am. I'm sleeping through the night. And I'm actually really taking good care of myself. So, yeah. Thank you all for your prayers. I really appreciate it. And your help and your gifts. Your gifts. Thank you for that. If you would like to donate, if you'd like to give me a gift, and it helps support me if you really enjoy my channel. YouTube doesn't always pay the best, right? If you'd like to give me a gift, go to minivanlee.com. You don't have to, but I do like to mention it because you never know. You might say, hey, I do have an extra little bit of money, and I was wondering what to do with it, because I like to seed out money, and I like to keep it flowing, keep the flow of it going. That you can go to minivanlee.com, and it keeps me going too. So thank you. I really appreciate that. And make sure you're subscribed, and go to Amazon and type in How to Live in a Minivan, the Minivan Lee Way, or just type in Minivan Lee if you want my book. Get you from A to Z into a vehicle, and you can have the freedom that a lot of us nomads experience, okay? Okay, till next time. Hope you're having a really good day. And always remember, good things are coming your way. Good things are coming my way. And they have come my way. Oh my gosh. So, I love you all so much. Bye.